On to lesson 2. This is powers and exponents. Your examples are talking about how to write an expression using exponents. And then they ask you to evaluate. So that might be put it in the calculator. We have calculators now, so you can just type this right into the calculator to evaluate. Here you're writing with exponents or simplifying without. And then down here you're evaluating. So you would plug in A equals 3 and B equals 5 into the expressions and then figure out a number answer. Again, you can use your calculator on this to make it a little easier, but anytime it says evaluate, they're going to give you a value for both of the variables, or if there's only one variable, then they would give you a value or a number to replace the letter with. So for example, where it says A here, I would take that out and I would put 3. And then the B is 5. So where it says B, I would put a 5. So this one would be A to the, or 3 to the second power plus 5 to the fourth power, and then I would type that into calculator. Okay, so these say write each expression using exponents. There are 3 negative 11s here, so all I would have to do is write negative 11 to the third power. Again, here there are 3 2s and 3 3s, so I would write 2 to the third power, 3 to the third power. Here there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 R's and 3 S's, so I would write R to the fifth power, S to the third power. The order doesn't matter, but normally we would put in alphabetical order. So because R comes before S in the alphabet, I would put the R first and then the S. But if you switch it up, it doesn't actually matter when it's multiplication. Okay, number 4, these say to evaluate each expression. Again, evaluate means to find a value or a number. So if I type 2 to the 6th power into the calculator, I can find that that equals 64. That 2 to the 6th power, remember, is the same as 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2, 6 times. Okay, so the exponent tells you how many times you're repeating the multiplication of the base. Remember, the big number or the bottom number, the 2 would be the base and the 6 would be the exponent. Again, here on number 5, it says negative 4 to the 4th power. So that's the same thing as negative 4 4 times. And so if I were to type negative 4 to the 4th power into the calculator or multiply out, I would get 256. You must have parentheses around negative numbers when you put it in the calculator, or else it's not going to come out with the correct answer a lot of the time. It will give you a negative instead. Okay, so if I were to put this in the calculator, I would have to have these parentheses. I would put parentheses, negative 4, close my parentheses, raised to the 4th power. And then I would press equals, and I would get 256. If you need help typing exponents into the calculator, let me know, and I will make sure you know how to do that on Sunday. Or you could just multiply out. Negative 4 times negative 4 is negative 16. I'm sorry, positive 16. Multiply by another 4, and so on. Okay, number 6 says 1 over 7 to the 3rd power. This is the same thing as 1 over 7 3 times. So when I multiply my fractions, I'm going to have 1 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 1, which gives me 1 on the top. 7 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 7 would give me 343 on the bottom. But I can put this right into the calculator if I have the parentheses. I would use my fraction button on the calculator and do 1 divided by 7 and then to the 3rd power. Number 7 says, the table shows the average weights of some endangered animals or mammals. What is the weight of each animal? So then it gives the weights as bases and exponents. So when we're multiplying here, I can actually just put this right in the calculator the way that it looks. I would type 2 multiplied by 5 to the 2nd power multiplied by 7. And I would press equals. Or I can separate it out. So the black bear is 2 times 5 to the 2nd power. So that means there's 2 5s and then multiplied by 7. So I can multiply all these numbers together and I would get that the black bear weighs 350 pounds. The key deer was 3 multiplied by 5 squared. So that's 2 5s again. 3 times 5 times 5 is 75. So I know that the key deer weighs 75 pounds. The panther would be 2 to the third power, again, multiplied by 3 times 5. So that's 3 2s times 3 times 5. So this would give me 120 pounds if I put this in the calculator. And then these last two say evaluate each expression if x equals 2 and y equals 10. So they've given me this expression and they want me to evaluate when x is 2 and y is 10. So I'm going to take the 2 and where I see the x, that's where I'm going to put the 2. And I'm going to take the 10 and where I see the y, that's where I'm going to put the 10. So I have 2 squared plus 10 to the 4th. And again, I can put this in the calculator and it would give me 10,004. So this would be my answer if I put that in the calculator. This is 2 times 2, which is 4, plus 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. And so this would give me 10,004. Again, 9, we're using the same two numbers to evaluate. So x is 2 and y is 10. So I have 2 squared, which is 4, plus 10, which is 14. So 14 to the third power, which would give me 2,744. So that's it for lesson 2.